What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the royal drama. I recently talked about the fact that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are allegedly trying to slip their way back into the good graces of the royal family, trying to reconnect with Prince William and Kate Middleton, especially in light of the fact that Kate has been going through a rough time with this cancer battle, fighting for her life. Anyone that's going through a cancer battle, they're fighting for their life. Some more than others because we know there's stages to it, but we also don't know what stage she is going through. And even though it's none of our business, anyone that has to go through that and go through it in the public eye, it's not an easy feat. The stress alone can cause it. So imagine trying to fight through that when you have it and you're trying to have the doctors help you to eradicate it from your body and having to go through treatments that unfortunately sometimes do maybe not more damage, but maybe just as much or some damage to your body just to fight that. That's not easy. So my heart definitely goes out to her, and not just her, but anyone that's going through that. And, you know, as much as people may say horrible things about the royal family, I don't wish the C word on my worst enemy. I don't. But with that being said, it's weird to me that Meghan wants to reconnect with in-laws. Think about it. She wants to reconnect with in-laws that she really doesn't know that well, but she doesn't want to even have a conversation with her own birth father that actually she had a relationship with at one time. This isn't like this is a dad that was just a glorified sperm donor, right? And you never really had a relationship. Meghan Markle had a relationship with her dad, and it's this stuff about, oh, he spoke to the tabloids, he embarrassed her, and he was, you know, saying things to the publications and doing interviews, and so she decided to cut him off. Huh? You may not have the best relationship with him. You may be pissed off. You may be mad. You may be angry. I'm not saying that you don't have a right to feel something, but it's not like the man was touching her. Or not even like the man was, like I said, somebody that she didn't know that well, and she only had a relationship with her mother. And then when she got with Prince Harry, then he tried to come into her life, or he never had a relationship with her, and then he decided to start speaking to the tabloids. No, this is someone that she actually had a relationship with. So I don't know, and I just don't understand people. It's weird to me that she would want to connect with in-laws, but not her own dad. But yet, these in-laws were so horrible, allegedly, that she and her husband did all of this stuff to make money off of their name and to act as if they were treated so horribly. So if they were treated so horribly while she was there, why would she want to reconnect with them but not have a conversation with, at least have a conversation with her dad? So this comes from Us Weekly and says Meghan Markle's father, Thomas Markle, seemingly believes that he and King Charles are like two peas in a pod due to both men dealing with certain health battles while staying isolated from the Duchess of Sussex and her husband, Prince Harry. Thomas, 79, opened up to the Daily Mail on Saturday, June 22nd, and explained that he would love to speak to the monarch, 75, because I'm sure he has as many unanswered questions as I do. Charles was diagnosed with an undisclosed form of cancer this past February after undergoing a prostate procedure. Neither of us deserves the treatment we've received, the former lighting director continued. He is going through cancer treatment, and I'm not in the best of health. I'm not afraid of dying. It is what it is, he says. I have so many questions I'd like to ask Meghan and Harry, the main one being, why have they treated not only me, but the royal family and the king so badly? Thomas said, adding that he feels deep empathy for them. Meghan, 42 and Harry 39. It always is funny to me when these publications write their ages, but I digress. Have had contentious relationships with both Thomas and Charles over the years. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex opted to take a step back as senior members of the Windsor clan in January 2020 and moved to Montecito, California. As for Thomas, his relationship with the Suits alum went sour when he was caught staging press photos before her wedding in May 2018. The Sussex family addressed the incident in Netflix's Harry and Meghan docuseries, which debuted in December 2022, which I never watched, by the way. Have you watched it? Let me know in the comments. Of course, it's incredibly sad what happened. She had a father before this, Harry explained. Now she doesn't have a father. I showed her that because if Meg wasn't with me, then her dad would still be her dad, he added, referring to the photo scandal. It's amazing what people would do when offered a huge amount of money, $50,000, $100,000 to hand over photographs to create a story, and thank God most of them said no. Do you hear that? Harry is blaming himself for Meghan disassociating herself with her dad because her dad staged some press photos and was paid some money. And honestly, who even knows if he asked for that sum of money? Because Harry says, and thank God most of them said no. So what did he really get? And not saying that if he got the money that it would justify her actions and cutting off her dad completely. But to me, I'm sorry. I know that there are terrible parents in this world that have had children. I get that. I know that to be the case. But listen to what Harry said. She had a father before me, and if it were not for her being with me, then she would still have a father in her life. So he's blaming himself for her cutting her dad off because he embarrassed her because he staged some press photos because he spoke to a tabloid? Did he touch her? Did he abuse her? Did he just that's just insane to me. I know of parents that have been horrible, not really the greatest of parents. You may not have a close connection with them, but you still love them and you still care about them and you still check in on them. I know for myself, my dad was not the best dad, but he never touched me. You know, I never went through anything like that, but my dad has been dealing with drugs for years. By God's grace, he's still alive and he's still dealing with those addictions. I care about him. I don't hate him. I check in on him. That's the best I can do, but I'm not cutting him off because I'm not happy about the choices that he made in his life. So I'm sorry. I just feel like a person who cuts off their parent for selfish purposes and reasons like that is morally inept, morally bankrupt. My personal opinion. I have the right to say how I feel, and that's how I feel about that. I just don't understand that. Again, I'm not saying that she had to have a really close connection with him again, but he definitely was in her life and he helped her in a whole lot of ways. So this isn't just a dad that was the glorified sperm donor, never had a relationship with her, and then when he found out that the daughter that he helped to bring into the world, or helped to create, I should say, has now been engaged to Prince Harry. Now he's trying to get in where he, wants to be able to fit in. It wasn't anything like that. And then her father-in-law walked her down the aisle. Do you know of any person that ever got married where their father-in-law walked them down the aisle? I've seen and heard of a multitude of different scenarios, but I've never heard of a father-in-law walking their, soon-to-be daughter-in-law down the aisle. That's different. And then this is the same father-in-law that some people were trying to accuse of being the royal racist that they dubbed. So to me, it's just weird. Thomas also noted to the outlet that he hasn't met his grandchildren, Archie and Lilibet Diana. They have two grandpas who want to see them, one of whom is the King of England. I never in my 80 years thought I'd be in the same boat as the king. I wish we could have worked this situation out. I was always ready and willing to do that. Thomas and Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland, were married from 1979 until 1987. So again, this is a father that she had in her life. This isn't just some glorified sperm donor, somebody her mom never really knew and, wound up getting pregnant, and she kept her child and raised her daughter, and her daughter, may have been receiving child support from this guy, and he may have come around every once in a while, but he never was really there. No, this was her dad. This was her dad. And then to hear that Prince Harry was blaming himself for her choosing to not communicate with her dad anymore, to me, that is just very sad, very strange, and it's all honestly it's all for selfish purposes, all of it. And that's why I have said that I just feel that the relationship for her, maybe for him too, but definitely for her, was an opportunity. She may have grown to become infatuated with him and love him. I'm not going to question that type of stuff. But what I will say is, if it was just about love, then why is it that as soon as you get into it, it's all about her? It's all about career moves, opportunities. You want to leave the working royals. I think they tried it in Canada and then it came to the States. I think that's eventually what she wanted to do, because she's wanted to be an A-list celebrity when she was an actress on the show Suits that most people didn't even really know anything about. It's a show that came on the USA Network. Like, who watches the USA Network? I believe that this was something that she was rubbing her palms together like, okay, how can I really make this work for me? And then as soon as you get here, it's all about the career. It's all about connecting with these A-list celebrities. Gwyneth Paltrow, Ellen, Oprah, Gayle King, the Beckhams, other people, Cameron Diaz. Like, it's just all about how she can make it work for her. All of these opportunities that were just pretty much given to them just because of who Prince Harry is and who she's married to, not because of who she is. Where it's almost like the deal that NBC Universal gave to Portia Williams, Guabadia. She's still Guabadia. They're not divorced yet. They gave this scripted television deal to her. What experience did she have to earn that, to deserve that? And now they're going through hell because she's going through a divorce, and this man doesn't want her filming in his home that she's allowed to live in for now, doesn't want her filming in his cars that are in his name, so she can't film in the Rolls Royces. That it's just crazy, right? But I'm saying that it's not the same. I'm not saying it's completely the same, but it just kind of reminds me of that. What did Meghan Markle have in the experience department to deserve all of these deals with Spotify for this podcast and, just giving her all this money just because of who she's connected to? Netflix giving these deals for creating scripted content and whatever. Why? What experience? Any other person, they would have to have the experience to earn that, to deserve it, not just because of who you're connected to. And so a person like that who just decided to cut off her dad for purposes that, if it were something like he was abusive to her, he was touching her, anything like that, anyone would understand it. But no, he spoke to tabloids. It's questionable. But listen, I feel how I feel. I'm sharing my thoughts and opinions based on the story that's out there, and just reading it and knowing those facts about it, I understand why he feels that way. And the man is 79, knocking on 80 years old. Who knows how much longer he has to be here? And when he does die, she probably won't go to his funeral. I don't even know if she'd send flowers. Like, she's literally cut this man off as if he does not exist. And that's crazy. And I'm honestly the queen of understanding people cutting people off for reasons that make sense. I have a family member that did something to me, actually a few things to me. I'm not going to go into it, but they were extremely egregious. And that's what taught me that blood is not thicker than water, and you don't owe anyone your loyalty just because you're in the same family. No, you don't exist to me. I'm done. So, yeah. So with that being said, I just wanted to share that story and my thoughts. You can let me know yours in the comment section respectfully. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.